everybody, in my last video I made a small minor mistake and many of you guys let me know about it in the comment box. I said previously that MK3 Sub-Zero was replaced by his brother and I was 100% completely wrong. The fact of the matter is the original Sub-Zero was killed by Scorpion after the first Mortal Kombat and was replaced by his younger brother. So the Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 3 is the same Sub-Zero that was in Mortal Kombat 2. And apparently, from what I read, what I gathered, the original Sub-Zero eventually became No Sabot. Now that I fixed that problem, we can get into the next game. Mortal Kombat Trilogy was released in 1996 and was a mixture of all the previous games. It featured all the characters and stages from all three games, and depending on which version you had, you could play as Goro, Shao Kahn, and other bosses. Unfortunately, I had the Nintendo 64 version, which is the worst version due to the limitations of the cartridge. Mortal Kombat Trilogy played just like MK3 with the same controlling setup and had all the finishing moves found from the other titles. Trilogy had no storyline due to the fact it was mostly an anniversary game of the previous three Mortal Kombat. Many people say MK2 was the best of the series, and I too think Mortal Kombat 2 was a great game, but I really think Trilogy is just as good, if not fucking better. Well, depending on what system you have it on. Not only was Trilogy a celebration of sorts of the previous titles, but it was also the final Mortal Kombat game in the 2D era. 1 year later, Midway took the franchise into 3D with Mortal Kombat 4. The story goes, thousands of years ago, an elder god by the name of Shinnok was banished to the Netherrealm by Raiden after a hard-fought war that spanned for 100 years. Now Shinnok has escaped due to the help of Quan Chi, and Raiden calls upon the help of Earth's heroes once again. In Mortal Kombat 4, players can choose between 15 characters and 3 hidden characters such as Goro. 7 of those 15 characters were completely new to the series. The fighting mechanics for 4 was a lot like MK3, except you could use weapons and throw objects that are just laying around on the ground. The graphics for the game was okay, but I much prefer the old 2D style. Seeing the characters that I grew up with in 3D was about just as awkward as when I seen Mario in 3D for the first time. The graphics weren't all that bad, depending on the system you had it on, and unfortunately for me, just like Trilogy, I had it for the Nintendo 64. Yeah. The good thing about Mortal Kombat 4 was that Midway got rid of all the stupid-ass friendships and babality that was in the last string of games. MK4 stays with just 2 fatalities per character and stage fatalities.
Fatality.
All in all, MK4 was a pretty decent title and did a good job entering into the 3D world of gaming. It wasn't the best game out of the series, but it was a good step toward revising the franchise for a new era. A couple years later, in 1999, Midway released an upgraded version of MK4 for the Sega Dreamcast under the title Mortal Kombat Gold. Mortal Kombat Gold features 6 more fighters that wasn't found in the original Mortal Kombat 4 version, characters such as Cyrax, Sector, and even Baraka. Apparently, from what I researched, that a lot of fans hated this game and quickly dismissed it. I can't speak for other people, but I personally enjoyed the game and found it much better than the original Mortal Kombat 4. I liked the new characters Midway added, and the graphics looked much smoother and sharper on the Sega Dreamcast.
Thousands of years ago, in a battle with the fallen elder god known as Shinnok, I was responsible for the death of an entire civilization. To rid all realms of Shinnok's menace, I waged a war that plunged the earth into centuries of darkness and banished Shinnok into a place called the Netherrealm. Now, after Shao Kahn's defeat at the hands of Earth's warriors, Shinnok has managed to escape his confines in the Netherrealm. The war is now being fought once again. Only this time, it can be won by mortals.
Mortal Kombat 4 was good, but in my opinion, Gold was a much better game. In the next video, we're going to take a break from the fighting game and explore a different side of Mortal Kombat with Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero and Special Forces.